In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about LEGO Technic, Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit. Let's go! My assembly experience with the Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit was a lot of fun, from opening up the box and just dumping all the contents out to then just starting to put everything together. I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. So open up the bag and just taking all the pieces. I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, how's this ever going to come together to be a planet Earth and Moon in orbit? So I found it interesting, like, what is this? I was thinking to myself, what is this big wheel about? And then I started to put the orbital rings together. Then it kind of sort of my mind started to click for me. Okay, I could see where Lego's coming from with this particular set. Anyone who's ever put together Lego Technic sets, like, some of them can be very difficult, especially to new builders. I found this particular set, as I was building it, to not be that difficult. And I know the main reason for that is because this particular set, in my opinion, is something that's geared towards not just a person who's very technical in mind, but just geared for just anybody who wants to put together a good Technic set. Like, I found the technical experience to be very easy. And I also found it to be a lot of fun to put together all the little gear pieces and see how the movement's going to work with it. And also putting on the side plates to it to see what it's going to look like aesthetically, which I found to be really interesting. I also found it interesting how, like, the orbital rings and how that comes together to just make it just be structurally very, very, very sound. Also, I love the fact, again, with the whole gear pieces, I felt like, believe me, I'm not an engineer, but I felt like for a few moments while I was putting this together, I felt like an engineer, because, like, as I was putting things together, I could see and understand exactly how, when you put certain gear pieces together, how those particular gear pieces click together and how those particular pieces come together and just allow the movement for this particular planet Earth and Moon in orbit works with the movements and everything and with the gear pieces. And when I got to the end of the build, I started to see everything just come together, and I got, like, super excited because I'm like, ooh, I can finally see, like, where Lego was coming from with building this. Like, it was just a lot of fun when I got to the end and I saw the end product of just seeing the planet Earth and Moon in orbit around the sun. I was like, wow, what an amazing little build here. So let's talk about the creativity of this set. So the creativity of this particular Lego set comes into play whenever you look at, obviously, anybody who's looking at this can see this big, huge little yellow ball here that represents the sun, and then also the moon and the earth. What I really love about the creativity of this set is the earth and the features of the earth are extremely realistic here. Also, the fact that if you look here, there's different phases that lets you know whenever this set is moving around, that lets you know exactly what phase of the moon that it's in based on, like, where the moon is towards the sun, which is just absolutely amazing to me. Not only that, but then also I love the feature of, like, even tells you the time of year and exactly where the moon phase is going to be during whatever month that you're putting this on. I love the fact that the play feature of this is, if you twirl this around, you can see all the gears and stuff in action. And it's just super cool to see the earth just swirl around the sun, and then see the moon swirl around the earth. And obviously the moon is going to be going quicker around the earth than the earth around the sun. Overall, I would say this particular Lego set is a set that's for, in my opinion, 3 different types of people. The first would be just anyone who's interested in space. So anybody who is a big fan of Star Wars would probably like this too, because Star Wars and space is different, but, you know, Star Wars, obviously, it's a space fantasy. So if you're interested in Star Wars, it's going to be a great chance you're interested in this. Or just people who are interested in some of the other space product that Lego has came out with, or even some of the older space models that Lego came out with. I could see someone who's a fan of those being a fan of this to add to their collection. Also, I could see this being for a parent that has a child or some children that are learning about space. So this would be an excellent set for a parent and a child to put together so that they can learn, about like how the earth revolves around the sun and how the moon revolves around the earth. Not to mention, when I was putting this together, there's so much you can learn because there was a lot of precision that came into play when putting this set together, because you have to have the gears very, 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 very precisely in place, or else it just doesn't work right. So it's also another aspect that if you have a child that's interested in engineering or mechanics or something like that, any Technic set is great for that. But this Technic set has so many gears to it. It'll really teach you and your children a lot about like how gears work and how the movements of the gears can interact with one another. And the other person I would say that this set is for is a teacher. A teacher that has maybe a science teacher that's teaching their students about space, or about just how the earth revolves around the sun, or the moon revolves around earth, or just space in general. I think this will make a great educational set for anyone. People who are very interested in space, or people who are trying to educate someone about space. If you guys have liked my review today, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.